Good morning. Good morning, good people. My phone is chirping like crazy this morning. Not sure why, but have to put up with that distraction. So, good morning. Today is Friday, August 9th, 2024. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning here in a warm day in southwestern Nevada, Nye County, aka Pahrump, or Pahrumpertucky, you choose. So it's 83 degrees right now. And it's 32% humidity, so it's quite humid out there today. People, so good morning, Watabebe. Here we are at Department of Career Services. Today we're going to be talking about the categorical imperative. What is it and why should we care? But before that, let's give our quick little disclaimer. Our purpose for being here today, as in every day, is to help our students and others, interested people, in this journey through life, preparing for this journey through life. Maybe that will help. Try to turn off the speaker. Through this journey of life to prepare for what comes next, because the evidence is pretty compelling that we do have a transcendent soul, that there is something after this. So we want to help you get there the best way possible. But disclaimer, this is not for people who are already saved or successful, because you already have what you're looking for, unless you want to get an idea of how other people think. So I will say to Matticus von Atticus, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, it is. Tell us a little bit about what's happening in Prescott now. We heard from Watabebe about the little sandpiper birds in Jacksonville. What's happening in Prescott? And we're going to talk about the categorical imperative, why it is so imperative. So let's see, what else do we have on our hit parade? Last night I was at a men's group, another Christian men's group. So we now have Saturday or Thursday nights. And tonight is The Chosen. Ha. And then tomorrow is that, and then Sunday is this, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the men's group was kind of interesting. People who claim to be Christians but talk about the Old Testament and Paul, not about Jesus. A lot of Jesus worship there. I love you, Jesus. You did so much for me, man. You died for me, man. The blood, you died for me, man. I worship you. But if you actually listen to Jesus, he wasn't saying he wanted to be worshiped. He talked about the first will be last, washing the feet of the others. Pick up your yoke and carry it. Use me as an example. Go out, feed the hungry, give water to the thirsty, housing, clothing, food, hygiene, visit the sick, bury the dead, visit people in prison. That's what he said to do, not to worship him, not to sit there. Oh man, Jesus, you changed my life. I don't think if he was in there, he would be saying, yes, thank more, please, give me more of that, more. I need more. I think he'd be saying, guys, you're missing the point. You're called to go out to action and do. Anyway, that was last night. But we're going to talk about the categorical imperative. Still waiting for Matticus. I'm going to be meeting with the LDS. Okay. I have great respect for them. This whole idea, though, that Lucifer is Jesus's brother, I don't know, man. That's kind of a bridge too far. The idea that Jesus is not God, I don't know. That's kind of a bridge too far. bridge too far, or as Randy might say, a tar baby. That sounds like a tar baby. Another tar baby. Tar baby. Kind of rolls off the tongue, right? How do you say tar baby? Is it tar baby or tar baby? It's a tar baby. Okay, moving right along. What do we got? What else do we got on our hit parade? Seth Godin. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Categorical imperative. Tool articulated by Immanuel Kant, an Austrian philosopher, very precise person, very limited but large life. Didn't really go anywhere. Can't remember the town he's from. University philosophy professor, made a big impact on the world, one of which was the categorical imperative, and which was part of his Copernican revolution in philosophy. Categorical imperative is a way to figure out, is this a good thing to do or not? And there's a couple of formulations. The simplest one, the only one we have time to talk about, is the universalizability principle. What do you mean? That's kind of a hard word to even pronounce. Universalizability. Okay. So basically, in its most simple formulation, you're thinking about doing something. Ask yourself the question, if this was a law and everyone did it, would the world be a better place? I'm thinking about smoking reefer. Okay, it was a law that everybody had to smoke reefer. If everybody smoked reefer, would the world be a better place? And the answer is probably no. Why? Because we wouldn't go through the pain to accomplish things that seemed impossible. Seems like I have a tuft of hair, sort of like a tuft of flowers. Robert Frost, anyone? Robert Frost? Okay, why do I keep repeating words today? Okay, maybe because it's Friday, everyone. That kind of reminds me of a joke that Darren Hardy told today, where a man and woman were home at night having some wine, sipping wine, firelight, in front of the firelight, staring into the fire. The woman says, "I love you." And the man says, "Is that you talking or the wine?" And she said, "It's me." And she was staring at the wine. Maybe too early for that one. Okay, good. So it's Friday, and categorical imperative once again. Should I do this? Well, if it was the law and everybody did it, would the world be a better place? This is day 5 of week 4 of our neuroscience-oriented approach to success on leadership. How do you know what the right thing is? Well, pretty much it's not knowing what the right thing is. It's usually about being willing to do the right thing. Are we willing to accept the consequences of doing the right thing? Or do we want to take a little, well, I'm not going to do the right thing. I'm going to do the thing that society, that others would judge as right. So that's like wokeism. That's being a snowflake. Well, I don't want people to be mad at me. I've got all these snowflakes out here getting ready to wilt in the sun. I don't want to do anything to cause them to be mad, so I will not stand up for the goodness and rightness. Kind of a lot of that going on last night. Do you want to talk about it or be about it? And we can talk about it by saying, man, I'll top your story about how Jesus saved you with my story about how Jesus saved me. And I can tell you other stories about people who Jesus saved. Guys, we're already singing to the choir. Oh, the video cut out on the punchline? Okay, so the punchline is the man asked the woman, is that you talking or the wine? And the woman said, it's me talking, as she was looking at the glass of wine. Did you get it this time? Did Matticus von Atticus get it? The Untersergeant. The Untersergeant of Camp Prescott. Okay. Next, what do we have next on the hit parade? How about Seth Godin? He's got a kind of an interesting one today. Adjacent but not relevant. There's a sale on bandsaw blades, including a really good deal on one that fits the saw you owned years ago. The folks who live next door to the house you used to live in are having a raucous party. A guy with a name just like yours wins the lottery. These adjacencies can capture our attention, but they're simply a distraction. We are easily triggered by things that feel close, but come out ahead when we focus on the things that are actually relevant. Wow, somebody's calling me at 6:17 in the morning. 6:12 in the morning. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'll have to say it again. Wow. So we have some people, maybe it's all of us. Maybe this will be my closing rant. We are so fixated. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Right, thank you. So that's kind of, Wadababy got a double in there. A repetition thing about reminding me about repetition. Okay, so there are some people so focused on themselves and their needs that everyone else's needs and what they're doing has no meaning. So somebody is in dire straits, for example, they need housing again and again and again. And they don't quite get that the other people in the house want them to leave. And when it's convenient, they'll hang up the phone on you when you're trying to have a discussion. And then when it's convenient, they'll call you at 6:12 in the morning. 6:12 in the morning. Yeah, golly gee. Okay, so please share, advise, why does our system work? Why? Well, the number one thing is the worksheet down below. That is the experts on how to move forward in your life, how to build better habits. That's fundamentally what it's about, building better habits. The worksheet down below is the information from experts that has the habits to build in 4 areas: physical habits, mental habits, emotional habits, and spiritual habits. That's it. And the other thing, the more practical, pragmatic thing is the podcast. Podcast is practical and pragmatic. Why? Because it's part of a daily routine. And the daily routine is repetition, repetition, repetition. It's about building better habits. What are habits? Habits are unconscious behavior, things that we have programmed ourselves to do. I noticed last night, as an example, that I have a habit. What I have to do at night is wear my retainer for my teeth. Keep them straight, keep them from drifting. And I noticed last night that no matter what, the habit is so strong, I could be thinking about who knows what. But when I get in bed, shortly after I get in bed, if I don't have my retainer in, my brain alerts me, hey, if you don't have your retainer in. get up, I got to go get it. That's the kind of habit you want. It's not just the repetition of doing it, where like brushing our teeth, right? We have this conscious behavior, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Boom, as soon as the toothbrush hits your teeth, you now go into habit mode. But the habit that's so strong that you're doing A, and you have yourself programmed that when this other thing happens, like you lay down in bed at night to go to sleep, you need to have your retainer in, that it reminds you, hey, you got to go get your retainer. Kind of cool. But it's all about forming better habits, forming better habits. And repetition, repetition, repetition is the key to that. The easiest way to do it is through repetition. Down below in red letter, Professor Andrew Huberman talks about how and why habits work and how to form them. And Huberman is at Stanford, another Stanford guy. So anyway, that's where we're at. That's where we at. And I am going to say that's it for today. People, have a good day, big day, make something happen. I have a big day that the other Sophie is going to be coming out to the property to see what's happening, talk about things. Okay. And with that, we're going to say, and cut. Auf Wiedersehen, people. Hasta la vista, baby.